All right, let's try this again. So I'm going to reload my browser here. And all right, so I have an agent, and I can say, what is Mermaid JS? Very cool. My agent knows something about Mermaid JS. Let's see. Let's say, nope. Um, generate a mermaid diagram for the following. A user submits a ticket to service. A help desk agent reviews the ticket. If the ticket has an approval chain, the agent will initiate the approval chain. Approvers approve the ticket. Agent executes the required steps. 6. Agent responds to ticket submitter. 7. Ticket submitter acknowledges to close the ticket. If the ticket submitter does not respond after 9 days, the ticket automatically closes. All right. So looks like we have a mermaid diagram. Let's see if it actually works or renders something useful. I'm going to come into to make a diagram render as markdown in mermaid all the words. To make a mermaid diagram render in a notebook, you have to wrap it in a mermaid code block and tell which functionally tells Jupyter Notebooks that this is both Markdown, but within that Markdown we have code that is Mermaid. And so now, that's so rad. Okay, user submits a ticket, help desk agent reviews. Does the ticket have an approval chain? If yes, initiate the approval chain, approvers approve. If no, agent executes the required steps because they came together. Agent responds to the ticket submitter. Ticket submitter acknowledges to close the ticket, and the ticket is closed. Or does the ticket submitter respond? If no, automatically close after 9 days. If yes, it closes. So arguably a good markdown diagram. That is the output. $1,000,000 question is, how do we get here? First thing we have to do is we have to teach our LLM what Mermaid is. So basically I had to go to Mermaid and download all of the documentation about Mermaid and upload it into RAG. RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, and basically that allows my agent, my LLM, to know what Mermaid is and how to create code that is in Mermaid text. Once I made my LLM aware of, actually I didn't make my LLM aware of anything. Once I uploaded that data into Supabase, the next step is to say, hey, let me build an agent. So here I have an agent, and we've seen these before. The prompt is, you are a technical expert that has access to all the documentation, da-da-da-da-da. So that's who my agent is and what it does. And I tell it, hey, use Supabase to answer these questions. And if you haven't seen it before, Supabase is just an online, what are these? Database that has access to all of the documentation I've downloaded about Pydantic AI, as well as all of the documentation that I've ever downloaded about Slack, and somewhere in here will be Mermaid, all of my Mermaid documentation. And you can see here that it has converted this, where's the content? This content, this from the website, into a series of ones and zeros, which are then used by the agent. Because the agent will take my question, or this long description I gave it, convert it into a series of ones and zeros, and say, hey, retrieve the five most similar of these entries. And that's handled using what's called a tool. So a tool will say something like, hey, I have access to Supabase, find all of the available documentation about XYZ topic. Or I have a different tool that says, find all of the information on a page for this URL. Because with chunking, we break a page into smaller chunks to make it more digestible by the LLM. This is a terrible explanation. I need to do this better. In any event, using RAG, my agent knows about Supabase. My agent knows about Mermaid. Where does it get exciting? Where it gets exciting is I might navigate to an article. Let's see. That Cloud Amplifier overview was terrible. PDP. I actually don't know if this is going to work, so let's find out. So I have a web crawler that will basically scrape a website. Let me press enter first. I have a web crawler that will scrape this URL and basically try to download that URL into a markdown document. And that will get stored under exports, hopefully in here. It takes a little while because Domo uses Salesforce. Salesforce dynamically renders a page from a template. And so it's looking for, the browser is looking for, you guys probably don't really care about this, but it's looking for these items to appear. Oh, those are the wrong weight conditions. Ah, Jay, I'm an idiot. The weight condition that I need to be looking for is this SLDS form? No, the whole article. Here's it's rendered, SLDS, maybe grid. Okay, I need to expand this list. In any way, it looks like it downloaded the page, and here it is in Markdown. So here's PDP automation. At the same time, my process took this Markdown document, broke it into chunks, loaded it into Supabase. So now I theoretically could go to my AI agent and ask it, how does PDP work? Wonder what it says. Ooh, PDP, uh-oh, it's hallucinating. Because it's talking about policy design point. Nope. How does PDP work in the context of Domo? Are you going to hallucinate, or do you have a good answer? Ah. So now I was specific enough. It's going to refer to that. Oh, no. So that part's true. I don't think this is referenced in the KB article. Uh-oh. now I'm questioning if... Does searching work like that? Mermaid? How do I search? Dang it. I can't prove that it ingested that article, which is possibly why it's hallucinating. But generate a markdown, nope, a mermaid diagram outlining how PDP works in Domo. That's right. That's actually correct. The article that it produced had some hallucination in it, but it looks like set this to markdown. User attempts to access the resource. PDP receives the access request. Evaluate the request against defined policies. Does the user have access? Yes or no. Permit access to the resource. This part is send denial notification. I think that part's hallucination. But pretty good. Pretty excited about that. Make sure to include URLs of materials referenced at the end of the response. Well, how about that? Okay, wait, that's not a real URL. You did use Mermaid documentation. And you referenced Cloud Amplifier? Because Cloud Amplifier is one of the 5 articles that are most near to... That's interesting. Anyway, that's fascinating. I hope you guys found that useful. Catch you later, bye.